Okay, let's we start the lecture. In the meantime, students will join it. So yesterday we were discussing about the social cultural issues. So I'll open up the same for you. Social cultural issues.
ओके सो माइनस वन एफ में बिलोंग करता है डब्ल्यू एक्स आपका जो है बी डब्ल्यू से आ गया और दोनों का प्रोडक्ट जो हमारी पहली कंडीशन सॉरी सेकंड कंडीशन
Okay, so we yesterday discussed about these things, that how in a social problem actually it came into our society. So there was a historical phase from where problems it has started, or how the society it has made.
अल्फा बिलोंग्स टू है
So we come up to the next level where we talked about like 19th century, that how the things that has changed into that region. Then we came up to the social problems in the contemporary phase. So we divided among three parts. First was the same like the social cultural problems. Second was economic problem and the legal problems. These two things now it has emerged into the society.
सो दिस इज
So
हाउ
then we come up to
ठीक है हमें ये
the next phase, that was the structural transformation and social problems, where we talk about education, which is known as sanskritization, westernization and modernization, which are quite closer to each other. Then we
सो माइनस एक्स
came up to
कर गया अब देखो x बिलोंग्स टू y बिलोंग्स
these are the major, we can say that the
अब x बिलोंग्स
social problems like religion, caste, language, tribes, minorities, population explosion. These are somehow the examples of the social problems. Coming up to the cultural problems, these are the cultural problems. So note down these things differently, because if this question would come to you for
we have there
you
is a
know
difference of minus
8 marks or 10 marks,
x minus y
so the long questions we can say this thing. So we're supposed to differentiate it very clearly, that what is what do you call cultural and what is the social. So social we just have discussed, and this is the cultural fatalism, particularism, attitude of the public property. This was we were discussing yesterday,
तो देखो x
because
बिलोंग करता है
whenever we use the public property, we don't have the attitude of that we are using public property, but we are doing, we take it as it is our personal property. And because of this what it happens, um, you start somehow uh, defame ourselves, because whenever the person will come from outside of a country, and when they see that how we use actually our public property, it is a shame for us, because we do not take care of these things. We think of like these are just to spoil. So that is one of the problem, we can say that the cultural problems. uh,
अल्फा प्लस बीटा ऑफ x
Lavneet Kaur.
but not x is equal to x
Lavneet
सारे
Kaur.
के सारे एग्जाम्स या कंडीशंस कुछ भी बोल दो
Lavneet
वेक्टर
Kaur.
स्पेस की सेटिस्फाई करेंगे w के एलिमेंट्स और w वेक्टर स्पेस हो गया w
Lavleen, did you join with the college ID? I mean the college email ID, or from the Gmail, your personal Gmail? Because I also requested yesterday, do not join from the personal email IDs, because otherwise I'll have to again switch to the screen and admit you. If you are like, look, Karuna Sharma is joined. So if you all in one tube channel area of knowledge also equals urban. So I don't know who is this. So how come then I would give the entry to the student? So I'm going to deny this entry. So I request everybody whosoever wants to attend the lecture, kindly attend from the college ID, so that you need not to ask for the permission. You will directly come into the room. So the next point was patriarchal system. As elsewhere in the world, the Indian society by and large has been patriarchal, where women is subjected to man. The role of woman in Indian society has been conceived as that of wife and mother. The woman in India possesses an inferior social status to that of a man. So again, that is another problem in our society we are facing, that the supremacy of the man. They have said that from the past we have this in our mind, that the head of the family is only a male. We cannot say this thing, head of family is uh, who is this? I'm admitting it, but who is this? I want to know. Yes, who has just joined all in one YouTube channel?
Just have a read of this, then we will move to the next.
Please tell me who's this? Students. स्टूडेंट्स, प्रीतम पाठक। प्रीतम, आपने बेटा लिख के क्यों बोल रहे हो, आवाज नहीं आ रही है? और आप कॉलेज का जो उसके क्यों नहीं ज्वाइन कर रहे हो? मैंने आज आपको अलाउ कर दिया, कल से मैं बार बार बोल रहा हूँ मैं नहीं अलाउ करूंगा, बिकॉज आप लोग अपने अपने जीमेल से इसमें वो कर रहे हो एंटर, और मुझे नहीं पता कि कौन सा बच्चा कौन है। सो बेटर यू यूज द कॉलेज ईमेल आईडी और उसके थ्रू ही आप यूज करो। ओके The problem is further accentuated by the cultural need to have male offspring for perpetuating the family performing the rituals after one's death. It has contributed to the cultural preference for a male child and imposition of inferior status of the female. They have said that you must have heard of, like, people are saying that a lot of people they pray for the male child. The reason behind is this. These are the reasons, because yesterday, as we have discussed, regarding Sati Pratha, how the Sati Pratha came into existence. We yesterday learnt about it because the environment was like that. People were fearing that, somebody is going to, abduct or kidnap their child. So that's how the system it has come up. So it's better to die rather to get abducted. Similarly, into the patriarch system, how the system it has come, that everybody is expecting that, they would have the male child. Thing is, because when in the society, when in the culture, we have every ritual to perform by a man, woman is not, authorized or permitted to perform any of the ritual rites. Like, she cannot go for any of the last ritual rites. She cannot even, perform any of the thing which is actually given to the man in the society. So because of this, slowly this thinking it has come into the mind, like, man is superior, and people have started praying for that they should have a male child. But if you look towards the Western system, they don't have any difference among the gender of a child, whether a woman or a man. So child is a child. So that because of, you see that that's just the comparison between their status is quite okay. And this system it has given even the birth to the next few more problems, like dowry, ill treatment of daughter-in-law, wife beating, illiteracy, occupational discrimination, even social isolation, psychological dependence, etc. faced by the woman have roots in this cultural preference for the man. So this is the very big, you can say that, cultural problem our society is facing. And yes, we are observing the today's time. People have started, changing their mind. They have started respecting the woman, but still we are facing this problem. Still, people have somewhere in their mind that man is superior in the family, so they do not take man and woman at the same platform. So these are some of the socio and cultural problems which we have discussed. Some of the other problems which it has come up into existence related to the same, that was economical problem we just discussed. Like, one was the social problem and cultural problem, then we have the the economic problem. The first economic problem which has come from that point, that is a child labor. Because of that situation, of the family, if they are not well off, so what it is happening,
for all alpha, beta, okay.
Students, this is today's the last time I am repeating on every entry. From tomorrow onwards, please use your college email ID. Look, it is written over here, outside of Gulzar Group of Institutes. So students, you have provided with the passwords and IDs and passwords of the Gulzar group of institutions. Use that to enter into the any of the classroom. So you will not require the permission to edit. So child labor, the manifestation of poverty in the country has become a social problem in India. I think someone's mic is also on. Whose mic is on? The noise is coming. Is there anybody whose mic is on? Okay. A large number of families belonging to the poor section of the society are forced to depend upon their children's contribution to family income. So that's the misery, we can say that that's the problem we are facing, in a lot of poor families because their contributed family income it is depending upon to the child. So whatever children those children they contribute into the total income of the family. That is how their family runs. So that is why the problem of child labor is increasing day by day here in India. Then the second problem is illiteracy and education. Okay, that's also very problem because when the kids, child, when they go for work, when they go to do the job, so when will they get their education? When will they study? So the problem of illiteracy and not getting educated, it is also, you can say that a big issue, getting big issue into our society. They have said that nearly 50% of the country's population capable of acquiring literacy skills are still illiterate. Then the third, they have said that the education system. Uh, the educational system affects society at a large in various ways. The education at the higher level in India has expanded indiscriminately in response to social demands and political pressures. Some of the major features of the educational system in India are as follows: widespread illiteracy, unachieved targets of the universalization of education, lack of proper emphasis on the primary education, misplaced emphasis on higher education. So these are some of the reasons we could see this thing that how educational system is, affecting. Consequently, there has been no attempt to see the educational system at a higher level produce the manpower in quality and quantity that the economic system of the country could absorb. We all know this thing, right now we can take example of everybody is getting happy that, students especially because the classes are getting online, papers would also get online, but try to understand that when you will go on a job, there will be a big time difference. There will be a problem for you guys because those who are learned it actually from the deep, for them it will not be a problem. But those who have not learnt it, uh, you can take example of we have done a lot of you know practicals during these days. And what was the reason of this thing? Because a lot of assignments were given to you. You were making every day different, what you call videos, and that is how you come up with the, working with the what do you call editing softwares. So now, so many of you have started working freely onto those, editing softwares. So this is what the magic of the practical knowledge. Because once you match the theory with the practical, this is how you learn. And when you go on to the work, so this is actually it is going to work for you. But they have said that if students they like the child they like he she would go on a job, and when will the time for them to work? And when the children will not study, it will be a problem that they'll not have the practical knowledge regarding the work. So if you apply just for private and something like that, and tomorrow when you go on a job, you will not have the exact knowledge of the same. So that would be a problem. So these are, we can sum up by say this thing, these are the cultural and the uh, social and the cultural problems of India, which which gives into your syllabus. So now I see The next topic which we study, we have done this thing. Politics and society, interrelations, economic and society, that's social movements in Indian economy, inequality in Indian society. Okay, we'll go for this thing. So,
should I change this?
Social movements in Indian society. Let's see what it says.
हो गया गुरप्रीत शैलेंद्र.
Now, in this chapter, what they're trying to tell, they are correlating the economics and the politics. Economics means the financial condition of the country, and how the politics it has actually worked upon it. Okay, like social movements and Indian economy. So how these has affected positively or negatively? Let's see. The path of development. The path to be followed for the development of any society cannot be easily determined, and it requires a great deal of planning before deciding on that. In independent India, planning derives its objectives from the directive principles of the state policies as outlined in the Indian Constitution. This question it has come into your last MST. They have asked you why, what was the need of constitution makers to add the directive principles of the state policy in the Indian Constitution. So answer is right over here. The path to be followed for the development of any society cannot be easily determined. It requires a great deal of planning before deciding on that. In independent India, planning derives its objectives from the directive principle of state policy. So directive principles of the state policy, it tells that we need to first of all plan something, then we need to implement that, we need to work upon that. That was the reason the constitution makers, they have added this thing into the constitution. It says the state shall strive to promote the welfare of the people by securing and protecting as effectively as it may a social order in which justice, social, economic and political shall inform all the institutions of national life. As it is evident from the above, a lot of planning is required to accompany any kind of development. So they are saying बहुत सारी planning चाहिए, a lot of planning is required अगर आप development उस country में करना चाहते हो. In fact, planning itself means securing a particular objective or set of objectives. Planning की definition आपको बता रहे हैं what is exactly a planning. Securing a particular objective of this set of the objectives. Goal को achieve करना, that is planning. In the context of development, the sphere of planning is economic as well as social. So when we want to achieve development, they are saying planning should be at the both platforms, social and economic. Though the Planning Commission was set up in 1950 to prepare the blueprint of development, India had started making preparations for it even before independence, when the governments were formed in various provinces in 1937 under the Government of India Act 1935. कहते चाहे हमें आज़ादी 1947 को मिली है, जो हमारा संविधान है 1950 को लागू है, but before the what do you call, adopting of the constitution, or when we get the independence, when India has passed, or the government has passed the Government of India Act in 1935, the 10 years prior to it, we can say that, तो जो काम था वो होना शुरू हो गया. So किस तरह से काम शुरू हुआ कि अब आज़ादी तो मिल गई, अब कंट्री को कैसे चलाना है, how we will run the country, we got the independence. Earlier we were just seeing that how the Britishers, they were ruling the country. Now we got our independence, so now how we will run it. So the very first thing which it came into, that was the planning commission. So आपने सुना होगा बहुत बार, घर में बात होती है, न्यूज़ में बात होती है प्लानिंग कमीशंस की. इसमें पंचवर्षीय योजना, 7 वर्षीय योजनाओं, 5-year plans, 7-year plans, इन सब की बात होती है. So let's discuss formation of the planning commission. During the freedom struggle, the National Planning Committee was constituted by the Congress with Jawaharlal Nehru as chairman, with 29 subcommittees to work on different areas. So the first thing what they have done, so under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, 29 subcommittees were made. The committee recommended to the state to play a vital role in the development of infrastructure and in setting up of basic industries So first thing they run towards setting up the basic infrastructure and start new industries, new enterprises.
So पहला step आपको grow करना
So
पड़ेगा.
setting up of basic industries under its aegis to promote the growth of cottage and village industries under production and to abolish all intermediate interest in land with a view to unleashing the forces of growth. It hoped to raise national income by 2 to 3 times in span of 10 years. So national income 2 to 3 times दुगनी तिगनी इंक्रीज हुई 10 ईयर के स्पैन में 10 साल के टाइम के अंदर with a view to providing a balanced diet having calorific value of 2400 to 2800 unit to an adult worker, 30 yards of cloth per person and housing with at least 100 square feet per capita, industrialization with the fastest on promotion of heavy engineering and machine making industries, electric power, scientific research institutes, combination of cottage and small scale industries, the dominant role of the state and the public sector in industrial development. So, what do you mean by republic? Because when we got the independence, we were at the edge of we could not start everything from the private. Otherwise, हम लोग flop हो जाते, country हमारी flop हो जाती. So the policy makers they decided initially everything it should be under the control of government. Slowly and gradually we will we'll bring the private policy, we'll open for the private vendors, but initially it should come under everything, it should come under the control of government, because government knows that, for example, railway is still under the control of government, we know that. That is how you're getting the tickets which are really actually cheap. And you probably would say that it's not cheap, but if the private thing it will come in the railways, you will see that how the prices it will hike. Because every year when the government it proposes the budget, the railway it has a separate budget, we all know this thing. They propose the deficit budget. Deficit means ghate ka budget, where they focus on that the basic things it should be provided to the citizens of India. So that is how they keep, like the normal people, the passenger tickets are very less as compared to, because if you want to ride luxury, of course the ticket will be expensive. But if you are a common man, you want to travel through the passenger train, the normal train, the prices are not high. These are very, very normal price. Why it has done? Because every citizen of India would get this facility. That is why there are few things which are under direct control of the government, where we see that even the roadways, we know that every state has their own roadways. We know that the railways it comes under the government control. We have even the banks. We have a system of banks where we have the nationalized bank, although they have given the permission, as I've said that earlier there were only government banks. So they have given few of the banks to enter into the market, the private banks. In 1946, when the interim government was formed, Jawaharlal Nehru as its executive head and advisory planning. An advisory planning board was constituted, which recommended the formation of a national planning commission. So साथ साथ से काम और होना शुरू हो गया जब जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी इसके एग्जीक्यूटिव हेड थे. They have said that एक एडवाइजरी बोर्ड भी बनाया गया, which recommended the formation of a national planning commission, जिसने इस चीज को recommend किया था, which recommended actually that planning commission should be there. That is how the Bombay Plan, People's Plan, Gandhian Plan came into the existence. Okay, that is what they have talked about. जहाँ पर उन्होंने किस किसने इस प्लान में participate किया, they have said that Jawaharlal Nehru was the chairman. Mr. G.D. Birla, I think Birla Group, which is very known. So Tata and Birla both look how they have differentiated the work for the development of the country. So that's how we have respect for these families, Tata and Birla, because they were the initial families, those who contributed for the development of the country. So they said in Bombay Plan 1944, the signatures include G.D. Birla with wide interest in the textile, jute and insurance, and J.R.D. Tata with interest in iron, steel, internal airlines, then Kasturi Lalbai with interest in textile and shipping. It provided the vision that guided Nehru in formulating the industrial and agrarian policy of India after independence. अब किसानों की तरफ भी ध्यान देना शुरू किया, जिसको हम हरित क्रांति से बहुत बार हम बात करते हैं. तो ये सब चीजों की बात भी हुई कि धीरे धीरे स्टेप बाय स्टेप इंडस्ट्रीज, एजुकेशन, हेल्थ, एग्रो सेक्टर, टेक्सटाइल्स. It carried a vision to develop India industrially and militarily to become a big power. It affirmed that practically every aspect of economic life would have to be rigorously controlled by the government. मैंने अभी आपको ये बात बोली है, so simply they ended up by saying this thing. Every aspect of economic life would have to be rigorously controlled by the government. So किसी के साथ कोई धक्का ना. Then agriculture, improvement in the agriculture and development of small scale industries. So महात्मा गांधी का जो था गांधीयन प्लान की बोला था, तो गांधी जी इस चीज के ऊपर बात करते थे कि अगर हम विलेजेस को स्ट्रांग बनाए, स्मॉल कॉटेज के स्केल जो इंडस्ट्री है उसको स्ट्रांग बनाए, तो कंट्री अपने आप स्ट्रांग बन जाएगी. सो दे हैव स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन दैट, ऑन द रूट प्लान, जिसमें कि एग्रीकल्चर की डेवलपमेंट के लिए, इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए, स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री की डेवलपमेंट और इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए इसके ऊपर बात की गई. Now, stagnation of the Indian economy. At the time of independence, the Indian economy was in very bad shape. It was going through a period of stagnation. Stagnation means stopped at one point. Characterized not only by the poverty, but also by one of the lowest levels of per capita income growth, which was approximately 0.5% per annum due to the long spell of colonialism. So we were the colony of Britishers, we can say that. So they were exploiting us. They're not paying attention towards the development of India. They were just paying attention that they would, get maximum out of India and will take to their countries. That was actually happening. So in the first 5-year plan, they felt the same. This was primarily because the basic conditions under which an economy can continuously expand were lacking. So they have said that was the first plan where they saw that, the basic facilities are not provided. Nobody has given or nobody has paid attention towards these things, because Britishers were seeing everything for themselves, not for the Indians. So ये सब देखने के लिए what they have done, they made plans and they come up with the development of these things, like the Bombay Plan is one of the examples. So the post-independence phase of development, now they have come up that after independence, how we have got, or we have, started the phase. The first phase is called as first plan, which runs from 1951 to 56. Okay, which ran from 51 to 56, and this was called as the 5-year plan. Okay. So first plan paid priority to agriculture, with special emphasis on rural reconstruction programs and landforms, including initiation of various irrigation and power projects. About 44.6% of the total outlay of rupees 2,069 crores were allotted for this development. So this is the detailed information. So if you want to remember it, you can. Otherwise, just keep the main points of it, like how and what it has discussed into the first year plan. Then it comes to the second plan, which was 1956 to 61. Where they talked about, second aim was aimed at increase 25% of the national income, a rapid industrialization, particular emphasis on the development of basic and heavy industry, large expansion of employment opportunities, reduction of inequality in income and wealth, and a more even distribution of economic power. So that was the second plan, which talked about these things. Come up to the third plan, 61 to 66. To secure an increase in the national income of over 5% per annum, and at the same time ensure a pattern of investment which could sustain the state of growth during subsequent flying periods. Now they're talking about, we have initiated something and we need to sustain the same as well. It does not mean like, we started very fast and after that, all of a sudden you stop. They said that you have started, now you have to sustain that growth. सो टू सस्टेन, उसी लेवल को सेम रखना बहुत जरूरी था। ये नहीं कि हमने एकदम तेजी से कदम बढ़ाया, उसके बाद हाफ पे रुक गए और छोड़ दिए। सो दैट वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी। To achieve self-sufficiency in food grains and increase agriculture production to meet the requirements of industry and exports. So that was now, the plans were of different shape. Earlier they were fighting for that, something new has come up. Now the plans were changing. Now we move towards achieving the self-sufficiencies, that we were dependent upon different, nations, because rule was of Britishers, so they were not letting us self-dependent. So everything they were importing, or they were exploiting if we were, producing those things. So this plan is talked about the achievement of self-sufficiency. Expand now. Earlier plans were to start. Now they have said that expand basic industries like steel, chemical, fuel, power. So now expansion plans it has come into the knowledge. Utilize fully the manpower resources of the country. Manpower, HR, human resource. There is a very important department, human resource, HRM. We have a ministry, human resource, HRD, human resource development, Ministry of Human Resource Development. So utilizing that human resources at maximum. So these things, how it has come up, it is related with the employment opportunities. If someone is good into studies, should be sent for the education. Good into innovation, should be sent for engineering. Good into managing finances, should into finances. So employment things, people started talking about these things. The very first time this has come up. Then after these 5-year plans, we started with the annual plans. 66 to 69, 69 to 74, 74 to 79. So these are different, plans we made it. But in 66, they have said that we had a conflict with the Pakistan. The 65 war, we can say that, when we have with Pakistan. So due to this, a lot of loss we faced. Although we won the battle, but this was the phase, we lost this for that because of we initiated these plans. Therefore, instead of the fourth plan, 3 annual plans were formulated. So we observed from the starting they were working on to the 5-year plans, but due to the war, there was a halt. Then instead of making the fourth plan after the third plan, they the advisory committee, they have suggested that they should come up with the annual plan. So that is how these annual plans they have came up. Then it comes after these annual plans, like yearly 96 to 69. Again they come up with the fourth plan. So after third plan we come up with the fourth annual plan. After annual plan again we went went for the fourth plan. Then fifth plan, they have started bringing all these things like achieving self-reliance, about the measures of raising consumption standards of the people living below the poverty line. So this is somehow this is working. So this question it comes to you, we supposed to work upon do on these plans. आपको ये सब plans जो है याद करने पड़ेंगे. 6th plan, 7th plan, 8th plan, 10th plan. So all these things are related to the how we can say that politics, or when we got the independence, and how it has affected what do you call the Indian one. Slowly and slowly, gradually, how this has look, these are the phases now. That was the initial phases up to 2007. Then India has become something, and that is how what present scenario it has come: liberalization, privatization, globalization. So we have now started, coming up on these points as well. Earlier we were just, believing in everything should be in the hands of the government. Now we are seeing slowly and gradually we are moving towards liberalization, where we are inviting the private companies from not only from India, even outside, from other countries. So they are coming. So we are becoming a global village, globalization. That is how the international brands are over here, and we do have the approach to them now. So, reduction of trade barriers, free flow of foreign capital for investment, free flow of foreign capital technology, free movement of labor and manpower. So, these things we call the globalization. People from here started going outside. From outside, people are coming over here. Yesterday, I was watching that how Dubai it has come up. It's a very interesting story. Until 1960, Dubai was just desert. It was having just one skyscraper. But after that, they started working on it, and now they have said that, and you cannot say that only the Arabs are living over there. They have said that only 5% of the population is Arab, which is living in Dubai. The rest of the population, it comes from mainly India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, these countries. So 60 to 70% of people are from other countries. So that is what you call the globalization. People are living in other countries, and in their countries, people are coming from other countries. So the whole world is a global village now. Free movement of labor and manpower. That is what you call the globalization, where we are working these days. That's how we are seeing the foreign brands in the Indian economy. Yeah, that's fine for as per your syllabus, because this is more detailed. If you want to read it, you can read it because it is already added into your Google Classroom. But I tell you this thing that this is what's sufficient, but we can see that what more it has into is related to it. Social movement, Indian society, different social movements. Let's have a view on that as well. What they're talking about.
बाकी भाई एमडी साहब क्लियर है प्रदीप कुमार फाइल का
The question it comes to about the social movements. This is the chapter, and I will not start today. We'll discuss in the next lecture, because it's a complete lecture about the social movements. But you must be aware about those social movements. So 8 social movements is a topic that we will discuss. Okay. Now, first of all, tell me if you have any of the question regarding today's session. Yesterday we discussed about social and cultural problems. Today we discussed about how economy it has emerged, how the planning commission, how the advisory commission, how the 5-year plans, how the annual plans it has affected the Indian society. Is there any doubt? Please ask me the question. Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
यूनिट 3 खत्म नहीं
Hardik is there?
यूनिट 3 आपकी खत्म नहीं हुई है
Hardik Mishra?
यूनिट 3 जो है
No?
उसको थोड़ा स्लो
Yes, sir. Everything is clear.
Virjot, everything is clear. How many of you have not filled the form? आप में से कितने बच्चे हैं जिन्होंने अभी एग्जाम फॉर्म नहीं भरा है? ओके, ऋतिक, यस?
नहीं आई।
हाँ, आपका बेटा फ्राइडे, आज फ्राइडे है ना? हाँ, आज गए होंगे लेके, इसलिए मैंने मंगवाया था। आज सारे गए। आपकी रंजीत की, जो अनूप, रंजीत, जासिर 3 and there was 4th one I think. इन सबकी जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स पेंडिंग थे, प्रीतम, इन सबके डॉक्यूमेंट्स पेंडिंग थे, तो आज वो यूनिवर्सिटी गए हैं उसके लिए। एलिजिबिलिटी होने के बाद। यस ऋतिक, यू हैव रेज्ड द हैंड। यस प्लीज।
सर इसलिए किया कि आपने पूछा था कि किसका एग्जाम फॉर्म नहीं भरा गया।
अच्छा, आपने अभी भरा नहीं है? इट विल बी डन बाय टुडे। ओके ओके,
आज हो जाएगा।
इसको बेटा भर लो, क्योंकि ना वेबसाइट्स नजदीक आके बहुत ज्यादा हेवी हो जाती है, उस टाइम काफी प्रॉब्लम आती है, इसलिए आई एडवाइज कि पूरी डेट के ऊपर मत जाना कि 10 को ही भरेंगे।
ओके सर।
लेकिन उस टाइम पे कभी फिर प्रॉब्लम्स आनी शुरू हो जाती है। So I'm going to take your attendance. Before that, let me stop the recording. मैंने कल की जो रिकॉर्डिंग है वो I have